Welcome to our week 6. It's time to negotiate the next generation social contract. So I'm looking forward to a really exciting and fruitful week. All the instructions are now on the platform on week 6. So all you need to do is to go to it. You'll see instructions for how to find your team, your role assignments. Then you go through and you'll complete the preparation survey. You'll negotiate online with your counterparts, hopefully in the same time zone where you are located. And then as you complete the survey form at the end to record your settlements, those of you who are taking the course for certification and for a grade will get some extra credit as described on the platform. So we're excited about it. We're looking forward to hearing what you have in mind for shaping the future of work. As a bonus, we will provide a facilitator. One of our MBA students, what we call our community TAs, will be assigned to your group. What is a facilitator? A facilitator is just what that term sounds like. It's a neutral person. It's a person who helps move you through the process without influencing your proposals or the particular terms of the agreement that you reach. So this individual will help you in scheduling times or answering questions and be a liaison back to the rest of us as needed. So use the facilitator at your choice and we'll see how all of this works. The deadline is Thursday at the end of the day, UTC time 11:59 p.m. So it's important that you and your teammates work on an agreement on when to negotiate, engage in the course discussion as instructed, and we'll see what we learn from this experience. Next week is the grand finale of this course, and we have a special event. It's called a live video event or video chat, whatever one wants to call it. On Tuesday, May 10th at UTC time 8 p.m., we will have an hour and a half live interaction with all of you, where we will summarize what we have taken away as the key lessons from this course, and we'll incorporate the materials not only from the course, but also your materials from the polls that you completed, the surveys, the assignments that you did, the discussions that you've had on the forum. All of this will come together, and with your engagement directly by passing on questions to us or comments as we go along, for an hour and a half, we will see what did we learn from this, where are we going, and how can we use all of this material effectively, not only for yourselves, but for external audiences who are also interested in shaping the future of work. So please put this on your calendar. Be ready with questions or comments. We'll send you information next Monday, the day before this event, on how to tune in, where to link in for this interesting, I hope interesting, and informative wrap-up for the course. Let me make a special request of you to make sure that we bring your voices into this process. One segment of the summary will ask the question, what is our key message to the future leaders who will shape the future of work? Business leaders and HR professionals, labor leaders and their advocates, government policymakers, and those of us in the education field. So make sure that on the discussion board this week, where we will post questions or a place where you can add your thoughts to each of these stakeholders, that you bring your voice into this process, and we'll incorporate that into the discussion next week, Tuesday. So I look forward to seeing what you have on your mind and what message you want to deliver to these groups who will help to shape the future of work. Last week, we had a very, very rich and engaging discussion, and in fact, throughout this course, many of you commented on the subject for last week, and that is, what's the future of labor? Is there still a need for labor organizations, for unions, as we've called them over many years, and in fact, over several centuries? Is there a new form of representation? Are there new ways in which workers can get a voice at work and assert their interests and work with their employers to shape the future of work? Most of you do see the need for some form of labor representation, maybe not for everyone, but for the people who really want to have a collective voice at the workplace. but you also see the need for change and for innovation to build on the strengths of what unions have done historically for so many workers around the world. You talked about the need to expand more labor management partnerships like the one out at Kaiser Permanente that we discussed. Many of you are focused in a very rich dialogue over the need for what you call digital unions, that is, using information technology, social media, and related mechanisms to convey your ideas and to communicate with each other across the world. And indeed, you talked about the need for global unions, because obviously today, where people work, how people are affected by jobs that are created by companies around the world is not simply a national issue. Some of you talked about the need to return to these interesting organizations called guilds, where workers came together cooperatively to enhance their profession or their particular occupation and to work to enhance their professionalism. You talked about the need for apps to share information on where good jobs are and good employers are, along the lines that we used in the Good Job Survey that some of you have done. And then many of you talked about the need for new forms of advocates for low-wage workers in the United States, in Europe, in developing countries all around the world, particularly focusing on the role that NGOs are now playing. So I think the bottom line of all of this, don't just observe these trends. Get involved, whether it's working on the side of advocates for labor, whether it's enriching and strengthening the role that HR plays in our organizations, whether it's thinking about the future of labor policy in our countries, or whether you're like me, working in the education sphere, either on the university level with the outside world, all of you in this global-based online course, or our students in high schools and community colleges. We all have a role to play. We've emphasized that throughout this course. Now it's time for us to put our ideas to work. So I look forward to a very invigorating week of negotiations. We'll summarize the settlements that are achieved next week when we come together, and we'll see if we can't really summarize and bring together what did we learn, what are the key takeaways from our efforts to shape the future of work.